Hey you guys, what's up? Welcome back to the Smalletics YouTube channel. My name is April Whitney and I am addicted to sugar. Just kidding, but not really. I actually had a relapse recently, which is why I'm making this video. This video is going to be all about sugar addiction, cravings, how they start, how to get rid of them. We're going to talk about a little bit of the science. I'm also just going to share with you guys what happened with me recently and how I am getting rid of these cravings and getting back on track. And that sound is Sesame playing with his little spinny ball toy. So if you hear it, it's my cat playing in the background. Okay, you guys, please give this video a like and subscribe, and let's get into it. Okay, if you guys have been following this channel for a while, you know that I'm all about healthy living, sustainable living. So at no point in my life would I say I was 100% sugar-free, cut out all sugars. At some points, probably refined sugars were very, very once in a while. For example, like cereals, desserts, that type of thing. I really try to only have once in a while, once a week maybe. So most of my life, the last 5, 6, 7 years has been a whole foods diet, not dieting, but you know what I mean, my nutrition, not eating a lot of refined sugars or processed foods in general. I'm so distracted by Sesame. I think I need to move his toy. 1 second. This is the toy. Oh, he's gone. This was the toy he was playing with. So weird. He never plays with this toy. And then, of course, I film YouTube videos like, let me play with this toy. So I want to tell you guys a little bit about my history with sugar, how I got off it a long time ago, and then also how I relapsed recently. So if you knew me in college, I'm 28 years old now, so this was a long time ago. I was a cereal queen. Like, you guys, I could eat an entire box of Kashi Heart to Heart in like from the drive from the grocery store back home. The box would be gone. I was addicted to cereals. In specifics, cereal was like my go-to for that sugar hit. College was also around that time when I was drinking more alcohol, doing diets, doing juice cleanses, trying to find quick ways to lose weight, and you know, trying to do all the quick fixes there were. So I would have episodes of binge eating, not in terms of, it wasn't clinically diagnosed or anything, but episodes where I'd eat a ton of food, usually cereal. That was like my go-to. It's just so easy to snack on. And I was definitely addicted to that high that you get from sugar, that good feeling, it's just that dopamine hit, kind of like, it's addictive. It's really addictive. And over the years, you guys have watched through this YouTube channel, and all along the journey, I have transferred over to having a much more balanced PFF diet, what I call protein, fats, and fibrous carbs. So I'm not eating as many processed sugars. I'm not eating desserts every night. I could if I wanted, and there are some times where I make my own healthy desserts and I'll, bake it into my macros, but I'm not going and buying those like classic processed sugars, refined sugars that you might find in the grocery stores in basically all of the aisles. Of course, you guys know I do not preach a restrictive diet of any kind. I would still order dessert out at a restaurant. We actually ordered dessert last night from this amazing bakery down the street. I had a creme brulee and I had a party cookie. So I do sometimes, well right now I'm addicted to sugar at the moment, but I will do that from time to time, and I don't advocate for 100% cutting all good things out of your life. It's really just becoming aware of when they're hurting you and not helping you, and then making the adjustments you need to get back on track. Okay, so for many years, I had no problem with sugar. No problem. I never fell back into that cereal habit or, binging like crazy. That was pretty much gone until recently. Okay, so let me tell you how it started. This is the culprit, and it's right here. So if you guys haven't heard of a magic spoon, it's this cereal right here. And when I first heard about it, I was like, oh my goodness, could I have cereal again? Could I let it back into my life? And the answer is no, but I did buy this box of cereal because if you guys haven't heard, Magic Spoon is one of those newer, healthier alternative cereals that preaches, it's kind of like a keto cereal, or it's just higher fat, lower carb, and there's not a lot of refined sugars in it. They always say 3 grams of net carbs, which is a sneaky way of saying there's hidden carbs in the form of fiber, which is good, but mostly allulose, I'm pretty sure, in this one. So it's not exactly carb-free. There's actually 10 grams of carbs in a serving, but you'll see, they'll try to trick you in marketing, so just watch out for this. You'll see like 3 grams of net carbs. Check the nutrition label because it'll show you how many real actual carbs are in it. But in general, this was a really balanced cereal. Most cereals do not have macros like this. This has 4.5 grams of fat, 10 grams of carbs, and 11 grams of protein. That's a very high amount of protein in a cereal. Most cereals are higher carb, almost no protein, very little fats, and they're not healthy fats. So I bought this thinking, okay, it's a protein cereal. Maybe I can reintroduce cereal back into my diet. And you guys, it started off pretty good. I was having a bowl, after my workouts. It was feeling good. It was not, I was not getting crazy cravings yet. And then after about a week, it just took a turn for the worse. I decided that this particular cereal was a little bit too high in fats and a little bit just not enough carbs for what I was using it for. And I was using it for a pre and a post-workout meal. 10 grams of carbs is not enough carbs to fuel yourself for a workout or to restore your glycogen after a workout and start the muscle repair process. So I thought, okay, I need something, if I'm gonna do this, I need to have a probably more traditional cereal. And you guys, that led me back into the cereal aisle of the grocery store, which I have not been in really in a long time. It's just not a good place for me to be. So one day I came home with this bad boy. This is Kashi Berry Crumble. And let me tell you guys, this is so good. It is so good and so bad at the same time. And I don't like to use the words good and bad in food because you can have everything in moderation. The problem is I was not eating this in moderation. So I switched over to this, started using it as my post-workout meal because it has enough carbs. It has 31 grams in a serving. That's much better. And I was mixing it with milk and I was adding a protein powder to my milk to make sure that the meal had enough protein in it. So it was a protein cereal. I was like, this is amazing. I'm eating cereal again. I can't believe my body's handling these sugars so well. I'm not having side effects. Like, I'm feeling really good. And then it went downhill. So what happened over the next week, so that was the first 7 days. The next 7 days, I started to get hungrier and hungrier. Slowly, I got more cravings for it. I was thinking about this cereal like all day, you guys. I know it sounds funny, and it's even funnier if you knew me back then because I was always eating cereal, but I just kept craving it more and more every day. And if you guys have ever had a sugar addiction, almost everyone has, you'll know it's like suddenly you're just always craving sugar. Like, you're not eating meals anymore. You're just like picking up a sugary bar or like eating a cereal or eating a bowl of cereal or having, you're just craving that like sweet hit. And I noticed it starting to happen, especially when I would go to the kitchen and actually like have to stop myself from just like open eating out of the box, which is something I don't do anymore. So I started to notice that behavior, that desire starting to creep up. And the tail end of this sugar addiction, which was the worst part, headaches every day. And I did have some weight fluctuations. However, it could have been my period as well. So I can't rule that out, but I had a few pounds of weight gain that could have been from overeating, not due to the sugar. Let's actually talk about that. Not actually due to eating the sugar, but due to increased cravings, which led me to overeating over the course of 7 days. Because there is a misconception that sugars make you fat. They do not. You need sugars, you need carbs. But if you're eating so much refined sugar that you start having cravings and then you start eating more than your body can burn off or more than your body needs, that's what will lead to weight gain in the long run. I think that's an important thing to distinguish between. So I had mild stomach aches, which for me, stomach aches is always a sign that my nutrition is off. I had crazy headaches. Like, it felt like I was constantly dehydrated or like going through withdrawal. Like when I wasn't eating cereal, I was having a headache. And that just felt like crap to me. I started to feel it, ignored it. I was like, oh, but I'm doing fine the rest of my meals, whatever. But I got to the point where I was just, come to the end of the day, I had lots of calories, but I was still starving, still so hungry and craving sugar. These are all of many of the signs of a sugar addiction, or just getting really, getting stuck in that trap of the cycle of sugar. And over time, it doesn't help you reach your fat loss goals if you don't recognize this behavior and nip it in the butt, because you can end up overeating, not feeling great. Oh, that was the other thing. My energy levels were trash. My energy levels were trash last week. Again, I was on my period, but normally I'm not like that on my period. So I feel like it was most likely the refined sugars. I was sleeping not good, waking up so groggy, and I didn't feel like I was recovering as well. So I'm gonna teach you guys how you can squash your sugar addiction, but I also want you to know the science behind this so that you know what's happening in your body. I actually did a presentation on this last September, this exact thing, cravings. So I'm just pulling up my notes from this presentation because it was great and it's the same topic. So you guys, what happens when you're eating sugar? Refined sugars. And sugar of any kind, but if you're eating refined sugar alone, sort of like I was with the cereal, in a large quantity, especially it was my first meal of the day, that's also really important, you set yourself up for failure. When people ask me what causes sugar cravings, sugar causes sugar cravings. So it's this nasty feedback loop, it's a cycle. Sugar causes cravings, you eat the sugar, and then you have the cravings, and you're stuck in this cycle. So when you have sugars, your body releases a hormone. I talk about it a lot on this channel, insulin. Insulin is coming into your body. It's a fat storing hormone. It's gonna enter the body to try to get all those sugars you just deposited into the bloodstream and scoop them away and deposit them in your energy stores, other areas of your body, because it's energy, and if you're not readily using it or you're not recovering from a workout, you gotta put it somewhere, right? So insulin comes, clears all that sugar out of your bloodstream, and now you're left with really no sugars left in your bloodstream. It can kind of over withdraw and leave you feeling really shaky. Suddenly you are hungry again, even though you just had 350 calories, 400 calories, or a meal, and then you go back to reach for more, right? Because your body gets so low in blood sugar, it gets shaky, and then it needs sugar to get out of the shaky state. So you guys can see that vicious cycle starting of sugar, insulin release, and then craving sugar again to get your blood sugar back up to normal levels. So this is what I've fallen into. It happens to everyone. The good news is it is not that hard to break out of this cycle. All right, you guys, so here's how I am crushing my sugar cravings and breaking this cycle that's been happening. The first step is it starts with your breakfast. If whatever you eat in the morning is gonna set you up for how it dictates your hunger and cravings for the rest of the day. So as much as I wanted to get up and have some of this kashi cereal, I did not do that. I got up, did my workout, and I made sure I had a balanced meal that did not have a high sugar hit, not a ton of refined or processed sugars. I had egg whites, I had some, I actually had a waffle as my form of carbs because the waffle has some fiber in it, and I also had some lettuce and fiber and vegetables with the egg whites. I was able to slow down that uptake of sugar into the bloodstream. That is tip number one, is start that day off right so that your brain knows on like a biochemical level, your hormones are in check. You're not gonna have crazy amounts of sugar or insulin coursing through your body telling you to eat or eat sugar specifically. That's the first thing I've done. So already this morning, it is, what time? 2 p.m. I had it this morning. I've also already had another PFF meal, but that's already set me up for success for the rest of the day. I already feel balanced. I have not had any cravings today for the first time in like 14 days, which is great. You can really reset it quickly as long as you are really keeping yourself accountable with this first step. Okay, step number 2 is to make sure your meals are big enough so that you're not just snacking throughout the day and constantly peaking that insulin level. So make sure those meals are balanced. That is going to slow down the uptake of sugars into your bloodstream, and then you'll have a lessened insulin response. And you can do that by making your meals bigger. Make sure it has lots of dietary fiber, okay? Avocado is a healthy fat and it has fiber. Also chia seeds, healthy fat, fiber, protein. Try to eat enough protein, get a high fiber carbohydrate in there, and healthy fats. And that's also going to really help keep your blood sugar level stable. And the opposite of a sugar addiction is stable blood sugar levels, okay? A sugar addiction is your blood sugar levels are like this. We want a flat line, or it's really more like when you look at the studies, like it's like rolling hills rather than like roller coaster hills. Okay, hack number 3 is not to snack mindlessly on carbs alone, okay? So if you want to snack, that's fine, but make it a balanced snack. Have protein, have fiber, have healthy fats. What does this actually look like in practice? This means not eating a banana alone. Even though a banana is not a refined sugar and it's a natural sugar, and that's great, if you eat a lot of them alone or one alone, it's going to still have that same blood sugar and insulin response that can keep you hungrier for longer even though you just ate. So pair that banana with a hard-boiled egg. Pair it with a scoop of almond butter or peanut butter, something to slow down the uptake of those sugars. And in general, just not eating your carbs alone will help a lot with cravings. Okay, so tip number 4 is to try to ditch the cardio and opt for weights instead. So you guys know I talk about this all the time. Doing a lot of cardio, increasing your cardio sessions in general can cause crazy cravings. They make you really hungry because you're burning a ton of calories in a short period of time, and it's not helping your metabolism to do cardio. But if you lift weights, you can build your metabolism, you can burn calories, and you're not going to have as many cravings if you keep that cardio down in a manageable area. Okay, my last tip, and this is what I practice daily, this is huge and so important and not talked about enough, is do not restrict foods, do not label them as good or bad or healthy or unhealthy. Do not cut foods out of your diet. I know that we're talking about reducing refined sugars, and that could sound like they're contradicting one another, but there is a place where the lines are a little bit blurred and you can have your sugars and not have crazy cravings. You'll know when you're addicted versus when you just have it as a treat and it doesn't affect you to the extent that it has affected me this week. You will know if you know your body. You'll know the difference. You'll know when you're just treating yourself and it's like, it's fine. It's not a daily thing that you're looped into. But when we get into a mindset that it's all or nothing, no sugar, has to be 100% healthy, that's not good, right? Because we need sugars to survive. Carbohydrates, which are sugars, are the largest area, they're the largest form of energy that we have and that we eat. Most of our diet is made up of carbs. So there's no way you're gonna be able to restrict sugars. We're mostly talking about refined sugars, processed sugars, cereals like that, protein bars, which I also started eating those when I started eating these. It's like all connected. So try not to restrict, still have your sugar in moderation. And here's a super hack. If you wanna have a treat, if you wanna have your processed refined sugars, eat them after a PFF balanced meal so that it's a really slow uptake of the sugars, or eat them along with the meal so that it's balanced and you have a lessened insulin response when you have all that food padded around that sugar. And I just wanted to share this was actually from the presentation, I just wanted to share some things that real petite women that I work with have said about following these tips so that you guys can see that it works, and it's also, it's doable. You can do this. I know you can do this. So this is one of my clients, Rebecca. She said that, but I meal prepped last Sunday and oh my God, despite work being crazy, I was never hungry. Balancing my meals and prepping kept me full. This is another example from my client, Jenny. She said, I was actually fueling my body enough and I no longer felt hungry all the time. For the first time in a long time, I felt like food didn't control me. I also saw a big change physically. So you guys, I just wanted to bring up 2 quick little quotes, nothing crazy. So that you can see it's really doable. You can do this if you felt like you are stuck, addicted to sugar. I am right now too, so I feel your pain. We can get out of this together, and you can overall reduce your cravings, which will probably help you lose weight if that's your goal, lose fat because you won't be overeating, and find that healthy balance, have more energy, feel more confident, feel like food doesn't own your life. Those are all really, really important metrics in the quality of your life in general. You guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. I will let you know how it goes. I'm already well on my way, and I'm sure that, I think I'm gonna have to throw these guys out or give them to my neighbors or something. I'll let you guys know how it goes. And if you like this video, please subscribe and give it a like. And I also want to let you guys know that the doors to the Petite Power Program, which is our 12-week transformation program for petite women, they are open now for only a few days. So if you want to work together, if you want help with your sugar cravings, if you want someone to give you a meal plan and hold your hand and keep you accountable, we would love to work with you. You can enroll below, just open for a few days, like I said. And I hope to see you guys on the inside. All right, you guys, thanks for watching this video, and I'll see you next time. Bye.